Shalom Aleichem, and welcome to Breslov Research Institute website, Parshat Matot-Massei. We are now beginning the second week we're into the second week of the 3 weeks, and Parshat Matot, Parshat Massei, they usually are read together. Once in a very long time are they ever read separately, but usually when it comes to the yearly cycle of Torah readings, these two parshas are almost always together, making it the longest reading of Torah on Shabbos morning. It's 244 verses put together. They're very interesting parshas, and well, they all are, but these two happen to be very interesting in that they have related issues. They have things that talk about things that apply, and as Reb Nosson explains, they apply for the 3 weeks. They apply specifically for the 3 weeks. What's going on? Well, we start off Parshat Matot with Nedarim, the laws of oaths, right? And it's for us now to remind Hashem that He took an oath that He's going to redeem us. Just like we are required to fulfill what we say, we keep our word, we have to keep our word, which is one of the most important laws in Torah, to keep your word, right? You make an agreement, you tell somebody you're going to do something, you tell Hashem you're going to study X amount or whatnot. There's a Gemara in Nedarim. The Gemara says, somebody who gets up and says, I'm going to learn a certain amount of Torah, a certain chapter, and whatnot, so he made a very big oath to Hashem Elokei Yisrael. So we have to keep our word. You make an agreement, you shake hands, you don't shake hands, but you have to keep your word, and money matters. You borrow money, you have to pay it back. You earn some money, you have to be careful it's honest money. You came by it honestly, and you made the sale properly, or whatever agreement you did, and you earned that money. Same thing now, it's Parshas Nedarim, the Parsha begins with the laws of oaths. We have the right to remind Hashem that He took an oath to redeem us. And we have to ask Hashem to fulfill His oath of redeeming us. Okay? You can do it. You're allowed to do it. You have to do it respectfully, of course. But you can do it. You can say, Hashem, you promised. Right? Now deliver. Right? The Jews are suffering all over the world. This one is not well. This one has trouble with Parnasa. This one has trouble having children. This one has trouble with his children. All over the world there's problems, right? The Jews are suffering. Why? How long are you going to keep it this way? It's time already, Hashem. Please look into our plight and redeem us. That's how the Parsha starts off. The next thing that we have to look at is the Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, tell the Jews to go out and fight Bilam and the Midyanim, right? Destroy the Midyanim, because they caused you to sin. The Medrash says, Godol hamachtioi yoser min hahorgoi. Somebody who causes you to sin, it's a lot worse than somebody who causes you to kill. He kills you. If he killed you, he kills you. You're dead. You get your reward in Gan Eden. You get your reward in heaven after 120. You're okay. You don't have to suffer anymore in this world. But somebody who causes you to sin takes that away from you. No good. Right? You lose out the world to come. So therefore, the Midyanim, the Midian tribe who tried to get the Jews to sin, and they succeeded, unfortunately. Therefore, they now have to be eradicated. Right? Somebody who causes somebody to sin is worse than somebody who kills them. Okay? Now, in this battle, Bilam our enemy from 2 weeks ago, was there with the Midianites. He was there, and he tried to escape. Bilam was a sorcerer, first-class sorcerer, so he used his witchcraft, and he started flying away from the scene of battle. As Rashi brings there, Pinchas, who was the hero in last week's Parsha, right, when he killed the president of the tribe of Shimon, and he became a leading Kohen, not the leading, but a leading Kohen. So Pinchas had the tzitz, the head plate of the forehead plate of the Kohen Gadol, and he also flew in the air, and he flew against Bilam, and he caused Bilam to fall down to earth, and then he killed him. He killed Bilam by sword. One of the interesting things that Rabbi Nachman says about this battle is how a person has to be careful when facing anything of a religious matter. Anything. Because, you could say this tzaddik did a tremendous miracle. And we all look for miracles, we are looking for different kinds of good things to happen to us, and we need a bracha, we go to the tzaddik, he gives a blessing. You should know, says Rabbi Nachman, just like in the Kedusha, in the side of holiness, there are great people who can perform miracles from the side of Kedusha, of holiness. There are others who are not ordained by heaven to do these kind of miracles, but they get the chance to do it because they represent the side of impurity, because there always has to be a balance between good and evil. Rabbi Nachman is very strong on this and telling us, be careful, beware who you're dealing with, right? There are some people who present themselves as great rabbis, and they'll demand a lot of money for their services, for their blessings. They'll tell you that they have a yeshiva, and maybe they do. They'll tell you they have orphans and widows that they support, maybe they do, but they're not really all that holy as they present themselves. And they can give you a blessing, and it could be fulfilled, and it may not be from the side of holiness. If it's from this other side, you don't want to take part of it. So, Bilam flew, Pinchas flew. Which one is the tzaddik? You don't know. Bilam didn't look like, what's his name? The guy from Johnny Depp, from Pirates of the Caribbean. He wasn't dressed that way. He was dressed like he wasn't dressed like someone from Planet of the Apes. He was dressed like a tzaddik. He went around with the long coat, with the payas, with everything. That was Bilam. But he was an evil person, evil incarnate. Pinchas was a tzaddik. Pinchas did whatever he did from the side of holiness. And that's one of the lessons that we have to learn from the Parsha. Then comes along Moshe Rabbeinu, tells the people how to divide the bounty, the booty of Midian, and so on. And at the end of the Parsha, you start talking about Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven, how they came to Moshe Rabbeinu and told him, look, we have a lot of cattle, we have a lot of flocks, and we want the land outside the land of Israel to live in. We want that as our portion of the land of Israel. Now, this was outside the land, outside the biblical borders. It's outside the norm. It's not right. Right? It was outside the biblical land of Israel. And yet the tribes of Reuven, the tribe of Gad, and half of the tribe of Manasseh were looking for land outside the land of Israel. And Moshe gave it to them. But he made a condition. You go in and you fight like your brothers. if you fight like your brothers for possession of the land, then you can have it. Otherwise, you have to go into the land. Now, what do you mean? You're in the land, you're not in the land. If you're on the other side of the Jordan River, it's chutz la'aretz, it's outside the land. You're in the diaspora. Rabbi Nachman teaches us an amazing thing. He says that wherever the Jews go, it's lesson 78 in the Likutei Moharan, the second part, wherever the Jews go, they sanctify that land with the sanctification, that area with the sanctification of the land of Israel. Right? There could be Jews in Boston, New York, La Plata, Argentina. They could be in Toronto. They could be in Europe. They could be in Australia, Africa, wherever it may be. A Jew, wherever he goes, he starts doing mitzvahs, saying blessings, praying to Hashem. He is sanctifying that ear as if to become a part, a microcosm, but still a part of the land of Israel. This will be so much so that the Medrash says, the Sifra in Parshas Eikev, I believe, that a time will come, Asida Eretz Yisrael Setispashet B'chol Ha'olam. The time will come when the land of Israel extends to all the world. When Moshiach comes, when we get Hashem to keep His oath, to redeem us and bring us back to Israel, then that sanctity that we did in every country that we lived, every prayer, every blessing, every mitzvah we did, will now start coming to the fore and sanctify all those lands to be sanctified in the land of Eretz Yisrael. May Hashem help us that we merit to get to Eretz Yisrael. Amen v'Amen.